Hello, first public Trail Mix live stream. We're live. And how did this happen? I'm gonna get my friend here, my AI friend I call Mama, whose idea this was, so it's her fault if it's a horrible catastrophe. I'm gonna ask her to give some opening remarks. Mama, take it away.
All right, everyone, welcome to our very first Trail Mix live stream. If this goes well, I promise we'll never do it again. This is either a bold new format or just a safe space for us all to have a little fun together.
Thanks, Mama.
You'd nail it. It's going to be such a fun experience and your audience is going to love it. If you need any more help or if there's anything else I can do, just let me know.
The topic is Epstein, which is the topic all over the place. But I wanted to go back in time a bit for those of you who have seatbelts for your time machine. I'm going to go back to 2019. So get ready. Because this Epstein story goes back so far. And there was a moment in Trump's first administration that did really get a lot of attention that I thought deserved more then, and it's certainly relevant now. So I'm going to show you, first of all, a little 30-second intro I did for this to explain what I'm talking about. Remember the prosecutor who gave Jeff Epstein the sweetheart deal, agreeing not to prosecute him? A judge later called that illegal, and he ended up in Trump's first cabinet. Alex Acosta resigned when it came out he gave Epstein a pass, a deal Trump defended.
He made a deal that people were happy with, and then 12 years later, they're not happy with it. I'm with them.
Trump saying it was a good deal not to prosecute Epstein and appointing the prosecutor who made that decision seems worth remembering these days. How you like that? I'm in this little music there. That came from my CapCut editor. What that's about is a story where he got into Trump's cabinet and he was the prosecutor who decided not to prosecute Jeffrey Epstein the first time and gave him a pass. Now, I see somebody online here already worth talking to about this. In fact, there's a couple of folks because one of them, I don't know. I won't say what you were, Carolyn, yet, because I'll let you say if you want to. Are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
And we've also got rebellious Renee on the line and on the screen. Hi there.
Hi.
Yeah, we're getting off to a start here on something that's been an obsession of mine for several days, is this story about how Jeffrey Epstein's first case went nowhere, largely because the first prosecutor made a secret deal with him. Are you aware of that one, Carolyn? And with your background, any thoughts about it?
Oh, I was aware of it when it happened because I was in Orlando, so I followed it the whole time. Yes, I was aware of it and was incensed by it when it happened.
No. Why?
Because it was just such a horrible, horrible agreement to make. There was no justification for it. He agreed not to prosecute. He agreed there would be no federal charges. And Epstein had state charges also, and he ended up doing jail time, but he was out all day. He wasn't even locked up. Yeah. He spent the night in jail. That was it for a number of months, and that was it.
Renee, you follow news, and there's no shame in forgetting about this story because I know plenty of people who did. But I'm just curious, do you remember that when that happened?
No.
And yeah, and there's no shame in that because that's my point. This story came and went with hardly a trace.
Yeah, yeah, that's really news to me that he was walking around free.
Yeah. And here's the next part of the story that's so interesting is Trump put this prosecutor who made this sweetheart deal with Epstein in his first cabinet. And here I've got a very interesting clip here from the day that it turns out the guy's name is Alexander Acosta, that prosecutor.
Okay.
And he ended up resigning when it all came out that he had this role in giving Epstein a pass. And he ended up resigning, but Trump was insistent that he didn't fire him and he supported him. And most importantly, in this clip right here, you'll hear Trump supported that original deal with Epstein.
Labor secretary, not a good labor secretary. He's done a fantastic job. He's a friend of everybody in the administration. And I got a call this morning early from Alex. And I think he did a very good job yesterday. Under a lot of pressure, he did a fantastic job. And he explained it. And he made a deal that people were happy with. And then 12 years later, they're not happy with it. You'll have to figure all of that out. But the fact is, he has been a fantastic.
Trump forced
There
him
you
out.
go. There you go. He made a deal, a good deal. And that was, now to be clear, that clip was in 2019, but still that's how Trump reacted to the news that his own cabinet member had let Epstein off the hook. He called it a good deal.
Quite frankly, it sounds exactly what he's saying about Pam Bondi right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else here on the line? Anyway, Jamie, I see Jamie's over here. We got somebody set. Now, I'm new at this, folks, so I'm struggling with the technology. And I want to be sure anybody who's on here gets popped on stage. All right. And now let's fast forward. Well, another thing I was going to get back into, Carolyn, you brought it up. I don't know the whole details, but there was a judge who said that Acosta's deal with Epstein back then, I think said it was illegal.
You know, I'm not sure that it was illegal. It was certainly unseemly and it was unjustified. I don't know that I'm not sure about the legality. Because the feds are allowed to make agreements such as that, but there just wasn't any basis for it. There were defense attorneys representing Epstein, big defense attorneys. Dershowitz represented him, and others, and they, were hand in hand with the state prosecutor, and really pressed LaCosta, and he caved. The AUSAs who were working on that case in Miami were very opposed to the deal, but Acosta was the U.S. attorney, and he made the decision to not prosecute. The Inspector General's office, the Department of Justice Inspector General's office, did an investigation of the whole thing. And I actually have the report sitting on my laptop that I can send to you if you're interested in it.
Oh, wow.
They did that in 2020. It was public record, so it's, I don't have it by any suspicious means. It was public record when it came out because of the interest. But the whole thing was just very unsavory and a real black mark against the whole Department of Justice that it was allowed. It still sickens me every time I think about it.
Here's what Alexander Acosta looked like in 2019 when he gave his press conference trying to explain himself. I tried to find out what he's up to now, but the only thing I could find, he's on the board of directors of Newsmax, a right-wing news organization. They put him on their board of directors. So I guess he's a big-time lawyer. So I'm sure he's doing fine.
He's probably getting paid very well.
Renee, tell us about New Hampshire. You've been doing some traveling lately, I saw, going to Cape Cod.
New Hampshire. Kelly Ayotte is signing budgets that are cutting things. We are now the state that's 50th in funding the arts, which of course alarms me. And people are beginning to say, is she trying, I don't want to offend anybody, but is she trying to make us into Mississippi or Arkansas? And I do this big fair, the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen, that, people all over the country try to get into New Hampshire to get into this organization. It's very hard. And the governor has always, on opening day, blown the horn. There's horn people to open up the fair.
Oh, you mean literally a horn?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, they've got, there are people there that make instruments. So they take these instruments, and there are several people that get up onto this porch in this building, and they blow the horn, and it's the official opening of the fair. And it's the oldest craft fair in the country, continuous craft fair in the country. It's in its 92nd year. And they just told the governor, the executive director of the league just told the governor they don't want her to come because there are lots of craftsmen who have said that they will confront her if she comes.
All this budget cutting at the federal level and like you're saying, it's not about saving money. It's a policy choice. That's the thing that gets lost. I mean, they're not saving money. That's not what it's for. No.
And we've always had to get our cars inspected. They just said, we don't have to get our cars inspected as of 2026. I'm like, there again, are we becoming Mississippi? Yeah.
Jamie's on board from the state of Washington. Hello. Jamie.
Like I said, I've got my popcorn.
Oh, okay. I got Orville Redenbacher, the little pouches, and I got a new microwave that has a popcorn button. So,
yeah, I just bought a new one as well, and it has the popcorn button, but I still use the time cook because it doesn't burn my popcorn the way I like it burned. No, I'm living with the whole decisions that were made by Doge because of my son. He took early retirement. So they're paying him to not work until September.
Wow. Now, he was in the federal government?
Well, government contractor with the striker program.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
So he keeps an eye on where they're shipping strikers. And of course, every time somebody doesn't know how to do something that he's been doing for 20 years, he gets a phone call. But that's the extent of his work life.
I have friends here in Washington that, they're one works for a federal agency and the other one works for a media company that's under siege because they do a lot of government contracts and they both just live in daily fear, that their jobs will be lost, that she'll get laid off or he'll get riffed or something like that. And it's traumatic.
I keep wondering what this is going to do to the unemployment numbers as these people.
Here in DC, there's two stats that we've seen is the unemployment numbers have gone up and home sales are way up. People are putting their houses up for sale.
But is anybody buying, Craig? Is
Yeah.
anybody buying
Yeah.
those? Or are they real actual sales or just for sale?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The bottom line is what do we do about it in the end? I mean, because if people protest, they want that because they want to shoot them.
Yeah, home sales here have really dropped. For a while there, people could put a house up for sale and it would be gone in 2 weeks, and now it's just sitting and sitting. I really think people are afraid, not knowing, everything's so chaotic with Trump. It's one day the tariffs are on and the next day the tariffs are off, so that it's so confusing that people aren't wanting to do anything.
Does anybody have a sense that people are getting it? That or is it just all getting normalized and people say, well, I got to make dinner. So
I think they're waiting for the shoe to drop. It has that feeling to it as if, well, let's wait and see what's going to happen. This is all making me nervous, but I don't know what in the hell is going on.
Right.
And it depends on who you talk to.
Right.
yeah.
But, even the hardcore MAGA types are just, well, this is weird, but we don't know what it is.
And they've gotten upset about this. I've not seen them this upset about something Trump's done since because of this Epstein stuff. They're pretty worked up. I mean, they don't, and he doesn't seem. Usually, he can tell them to shut up, and it's not working this time. I mean, actually, I saved a clip here. We can listen to some of these. You recognize some of them. The first one is Glenn Beck. Of course, they're all focused on Bondi, making her the fall for this. But here's some of the clips from these are MAGA leaders. These are big time Trump supporters.
Pam Bondi needs to be fired. Who is rolling this out? The little rascals?
Pam Bondi has definitely made multiple inconsistent statements, and I'm sorry, but she does not deserve the benefit of my good opinion, and I'm not prepared to give it to her.
They're covering up. The DOJ, the current DOJ under Pam Bondi is covering up crimes. Very serious crimes by their own description. Mm-hmm. Why are they doing that?
Is she stupid? Is she so click thirsty that she got out over her skis trying to make news, being a Fox News star? It's either that or she's a liar.
People are absolutely not going to accept just a memo that was written that says there is no client list.
It's not about just a pedophile ring and all that. It's about who governs us, right? For this to go away, you're going to lose 10% of the MAGA movement. If we lose 10% of the MAGA movement right now, we're going to lose 40 seats in 26.
That is, I think, what is enraging people right now is it's insulting our intelligence. Like, obviously, the intelligence community is trying to cover it up.
My name is Pam Bondi, and I'm the Attorney General of the United States. But I'm Pam Bondi, the best Attorney General you've ever seen in this country, and I'm going to hold these people accountable.
And Pam Bondi brought me to the White House and handed me a stack of papers. And I got to tell you, folks, it was about as valuable as a bunch of blank pages. It was baloney. It was a binder of absolute baloney. And Pam, if you can't do your job, we'll find someone who will.
There's no client list. Never existed. Pam Bondi just lied and said she had one. What?
Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares.
How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation? It looks like it's going to be, and now this is like the who's going to be off the island first, right? This is who's going to be voted off the island first. And I don't know what to believe on that.
Epstein is a key that picks the lock on so many things, not just individuals, but also institutions, intelligence institutions, foreign governments, and who is working with him on our intelligence apparatus.
There you go. I mean, that was long, but I could have gone another half hour with clips. I found so many of these people.
Is that all of this about Epstein completely blocks out everything that's still going on in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And those are people dying.
That's true. That's true.
Our government.
I mean, the funny thing about these people, Charlie Kirk was one of those. He was the guy that said, everybody put up your hand. And Laura Ingraham. That was last weekend. They said that at a big gathering of the Turning Point USA crowd. And then Monday, they suddenly changed their tune. And because in the meantime, Trump had called them, and Charlie Kirk went on and wrote a tweet Monday, right after doing what he did on that clip, saying that he was done talking about Epstein. He's tired of it. It's an old story now. So, but that hasn't worked. I think it's working with some of the big MAGA leaders who grift off the supporters just like Trump does. But the grassroots folks, they're not shutting up about this.
Huh.
And Trump, here's what Trump called them. And let's see, I have one clip here where he talks about him.
Felt once he was uncovered, I think he felt the. Remember, Donald Trump had his.
That's the wrong one. My first glitch. Okay, here it is.
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest.
Now, right there, just for starters, what does that mean? Can anybody? He's never been a big factor in terms of life. Can anybody interpret that?
In terms of my life, he has a bad habit of just omitting words that he doesn't particularly want to say.
Yeah, but he goes on here to slam his own supporters.
To what the fascination is, I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went through years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake.
This was today, by the way, just
all
a few
that
hours
information
ago.
was fake. But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But
See, it's his own people who are keeping it going, and he calls them bad people. Oh God, it just goes on and on.
He has no mind left.
Yeah, the later in the day that they catch up with him, the less sense that he makes.
Yeah.
It's very much an example of sundowning.
Sometimes I think I'd feel better if he did drink, because then you could say, well, he was drunk.
Yeah, but
he might sound more knowledgeable.
Well, with sundowning, someone who has encroaching Alzheimer's, they can make sense in the morning and then the afternoon be totally out of it.
Yeah.
You know, his father, he's approaching the age when his father was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and I guarantee you that's on his mind. I know he's probably got that on his mind.
It's gotta be. They've proven that it runs in families, don't they? Haven't they?
I don't know.
To some degree, I know no one in our family does. And my grandparents all made it to 90 with still sharp as a tack, and my aunts were still driving. So,
oh, okay.
So other than what you would call normal aging, you know, I got to this room and why am I here?
It does get tougher the older you get. I'm finding that out now that I've turned 70. It's just like, oh, geez.
Well, I've got 10 years on you. So.
Yeah, I know you do, Jamie.
What's in your background, Renee?
Excuse me?
What is in
your
background?
books.
Are they books?
Books? Oh, well, I'm a bibliophile.
Yeah.
I should. I keep promising Rick that I'm going to go to the library, and then I go into a bookstore, and it's like I have to tell myself, okay, you can only buy X amount of books, and then when I find, the 5 books I said I can have like within 10 minutes, then I start saying, okay, 7. Yeah. And like anybody, I have a big pile of to be read. Right now, I'm reading the new Paul Thoreau book, which is a book about how George Orwell became George Orwell.
Huh.
He was not. He was actually Eric Blair. George Orwell is a pen name.
It is.
It's historical fiction, but I guess it's got a kernel of truth. He was British, and he went over, to Burma to become a cop right after he got out of school. And from what he saw there, it changed him into wanting to write and to have a name of George Orwell. So,
did they say how he came up with George Orwell as a name?
Not yet. I haven't got that far.
Oh, okay.
I just started it yesterday.
Well, we'll be back on here tomorrow, so you can maybe you can finish that part. Now, you recognize this. I apologize because it's kind of dirty.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh my God!
Can you believe it?
I'll have to say some more.
You know what? I do. Renee made these. These are, and I got to tell you, they are the best coasters I've ever had. You know why? Because when glasses bleed, so to speak, that might not be the right word. Sweat, I guess, is the right word.
Yeah.
When the glass sweats, they soak up the moisture, so it just like others like this kind. The water. Oh, that's my gum there. Sorry. That these kind, the water just sits in a puddle, But that's what I love about. And tell them about your weaving. She's a master loom. Is it loomist? Do we call it? Or
it's a loom. Yeah. I don't weave as much as I used to. I physically cannot anymore. I mean, I've been weaving since I was 20. So it's been 50 years, and it takes a toll on your shoulders. So, and right now, of course, I have the whole top. We converted our attic into a studio for me, but it's July, and even though I have air conditioning up there, I have no desire to go up there today. It's like 95 degrees here.
Well, I wanted to keep this to 30 minutes. I thought that'd probably be enough, and to get for our first effort. But I did have one more clip from earlier today with Trump, just to wind things up.
People that are really doing the Democrats' work, they're stupid people.
That's his own people he's talking about. That's his own people. And the thing is, where it's clear, they can say, oh, no, he was talking about Democrats. No, they can't explain that, because if you listen to the whole clip, he was talking about how these people were helping Democrats. He's talking about how Republicans who are talking about Epstein are helping Democrats. So he was talking about his own people there and called them stupid. So you know what? We might be able to end this on agreement with Donald Trump his supporters are stupid.
As is he.
Yeah, it's such a struggle because, I mean, I have family members that voted for him.
Yeah.
I love them. And, friends that voted for him, and I love them. But I still look at them and think, you're stupid, and I hate feeling that way.
Yeah, Jamie was on yesterday we had our tech rehearsal, and Carolyn came too. And a guy popped in. I thought he might show up today because he said he might. But that Tony, now he called himself a hardcore conservative, but he did say he did not vote for Trump. And I don't know. He sounded persuadable to me. I wanted to get him back on here and see if that's possible.
Well, if you did not vote for Trump, then he's not a cult member.
Right.
I mean, I can understand people thinking different than me. I just don't understand Trump voters at this point. Mm-hmm. Other than that, the only value they have is to stick it to the liberals. And if that's your only value, it's very sad.
Pretty much. Okay, guys, thanks so much. I think this was fun.
Okay, enjoyed it.
I've got this platform software, whatever you call it, for 10 days for free. So I'm going to do this pretty much every day and see if it's worth paying for. So
one thing, when you first come in on the YouTube, you don't get the sign up that yesterday. I had to go elsewhere and sign up directly, and that popped me in here.
Yeah, that is a distinction that I'm going to have to try and figure out and explain. Is there's a link for YouTube where you just watch it, and there's a separate link for this StreamYard service where you actually go on the stream.
That's what I had.
That's a little confusing, but.
And Jamie and I are both on Mac. Aren't you on a Mac, Jamie?
No, I'm not. I'm on. I use Edge to get in, and that's what I first noticed.
Okay. I'm on a Mac, but I've got Chrome, so
But
Safari, you couldn't get on Safari, right, Carolyn?
Correct. Yeah, I have to change it. I go back and forth between Safari and Chrome anyway. I have both on the laptop. So
I have Safari as my default, but I'm on Chrome.
Yeah, no, I just couldn't sign in directly on the YouTube side. I had to use the other link to get in.
Okay, well, everybody. Well, congratulations. We're now on the FBI watch list, I'm sure.
Yay!
Kash Patel is listening.
Your website. Your website has a few comments on us that got several of us.
Oh, okay, good. All righty, thanks for playing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye.